This is Monk, and we are back with another episode of From the Canopy Film Show. It's our first show of the new year. And join as always, my co-host, we got Cornelius, aka Evil Corny.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, man? We do have a lot of films to kind of go over for you guys on this episode because we took, the last couple weeks off, so so we got a few to get through. Some of these stuff they're still in the theater, I think, for the most part. So you might have a chance to see them by the time you see this. But we usually start with our reviews, and then we might have some news at the end of this. We might, but let's get into it, man. Since we got a busy schedule, and I'm going to start with this one. I was kind of. I feel like I was highly anticipating it, but I wasn't anticipating it to be good. And we're going to be talking about Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. And this is directed by James Wan. It's starring Amber Heard, Jason Momoa, Patrick Wilson, Yahya Abdul-Mateen, Nicole Kidman, Willem Dafoe, India Moore, and Randall Park also. I forgot he was in here, man. And we got also Dolph Lundgren, Vincent Reagan, Johnny Zhao, Tamara Morrison. And that's about it as far as the big stars. We also got an interesting Martin Short appearance in this film.
What?
Yeah, he's on the credits, man. He's on the credits, bro. That's crazy. But interestingly enough, man, I didn't have a lot of fun with this film, man. I think it's definitely was ambitious, but also it feels like ambitious in the sense that this story is so simple and they just wrapped around it a whole lot of just visual shock and awe. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it necessarily deserves. So it just felt like something that's just bloated and super goofy. I mean, it does kind of match the tone of the original, which is a plus or minus depending on how you feel about that film. But I've only seen that once. I never went back to go see that film, or checked it out once it was available.
I actually think the first one is an okay film. It doesn't really apologize for being as goofy as a comic book film is, should be. And that's one thing I don't mind about it, but overall, it's not the best film.
Yeah, I think this one, there was like a weird shift, man. Like I think it has something to do to me with Aquaman's characterization, because I feel like in Justice League, he was more like this Thor type of character in a way, even though he's kind of his official god or coming kind of from that kind of lineage. But the thing that's weird is then when we get to his solo film, all of a sudden he turns into Ant-Man. And I just don't think Jason Momoa has the chops to pull that off as much as he did to pull off a grumpy kind of guy like a Thor's more kind of guy, So that's kind of made these films a little weird for me. And going to this one, the story is just like our bad guys back for revenge. They're trying to get to this, which pretty much is this world's vibranium, so we got Black Manta, he's back in effect, and I will give Yahya Abdul-Mateen his props, man. He's probably one of the few guys where I felt like, oh, this guy's giving a grade A effort. Him and actually Patrick Wilson, man, I think they were too good to be in this film, dude. Like everyone else is kind of just doing paint by the numbers, but then you get moments where these characters are on screen by themselves and they're doing something, especially Yahya, and I'm like, damn, bro, you are in the wrong movie, man. You're giving us the Broadway Tony Award winning performance, and this, like, it just seems like he doesn't fit in, man. I just felt bad watching this for him. Like, damn, dude, such wasted effort. And then the rest is just kind of has this weird, it's a weird film, man. I don't know. It might have its people that like it. I did see some of the people, coming in like, oh man, blah, blah, blah. This is a blast. Yeah, this is what Marvel can't do. And I'm like, man.
What?
I don't get it, dude. I don't get it, man. And this is
somebody compare this to a Marvel film.
Yes, man. Yes. And they're already doing the craziness, because I think it did just now eclipse the Marvels in worldwide box office, by a little bit, but it's still underperforming considering the budget. Like, this film's still not going to break even, so that's also should be a disappointment instead of a celebration just because it made more money than the Marvels, but it's still a failure. Like that's kind of weird, man. That's kind of showing me that this Marvel tax idea and concept is a real thing, man. But back to this film, man, I just didn't like it, dude. I had a hard time just even staying or even caring about any of the characters and the situations. Even the bad guy scenario just didn't even seem that bad to me. I'm like, this is kind of weird if this thing can potentially destroy the Earth, but only Aquaman's involved and his weird buddies. You know what I'm saying? No other Justice League people.
Okay,
what's the timeline? When does this take place?
One of the things about it is after all the stuff that went down and the rebooting of the universe with James Gunn taking over, they did a lot of reshoots on this. So you had supposedly Affleck was supposed to be in it. Gal Gadot was supposed to be in it, and I think Henry Cavill was supposed to be in it at some point. But since between the Flash and the reboot of the universe, they did some reshoots and got rid of all that.
So they cut all them people out, and this film is still too long. Like, that's crazy to me, man. This thing it was dragging ass for me, man. I'm telling you, man. I probably dozed off like 4 times, and I will say this is not because I was tired. This is because this thing was just dragging ass, man. So, and this is my double feature day. I saw Iron Claw first, then I saw this, and originally I was hoping that I was like, I want to see Aquaman first so I can get the disappointment out of the way first, and then have the good time of Iron Claw. But then I watched Iron Claw first, and I was happy that I was going to see Aquaman next, because Iron Claw is a great film, but it is also extremely sad. So I was at least hoping that Aquaman would help bring my spirit up. All right, this is something goofy, it's lighter, I can laugh at it. But it was just like back-to-back struggle.
Yeah.
like I was trying to just care. Like that's my biggest thing, man. I probably would have had a better rating if the story was better. I can excuse some goofy execution and some wonky acting. It looks like they threw all the budget at the FX, but it also, even that seemed like gratuitous. It didn't, like, it's there, the spectacle of it, but it's not particularly good looking, if that makes sense, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen, like you look at how the water stuff was handled in Wakanda versus this movie, you'll see what I'm talking about. This feels like they just threw everything at the kitchen sink and did it with the crazy FX budget and things that didn't make sense. I feel like there's just strange creatures, like the what's the name? They were working with real creatures and real things. In this film, they were making up stuff. Like 12-foot tall seahorses. Like, it's just all this underwater wildlife. We're just going to make it bigger and just make it stranger. An octopus that's just running around on land, being super smart. And, like, it's a lot of goof going on in this thing that I don't think it needed to be a fun film. And it makes me wonder. I know James Wan has some hits, but knowing that he has made some films that I've liked, I don't know. Like, is he a good director? Do you think? Because watching this, it doesn't feel like it.
I